Hello everyone, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel and my craft table. I'm really glad you're here today, and welcome if you're new. I'm so glad to meet you. In today's video, I'm actually going to take you into Cricut Design Space first, and I want to show you how to use the warp tool that is in Cricut Design Space that you can do some really cool things with your text in your images. The next thing we're going to do after that is we're going to go ahead and put together the last couple of gifts that I have for my daughter for her Valentine's Day surprise basket. I'm going to show you how to make this really cute tray right here, and we're going to be using that warp feature to get these text in a way that we can lay them nicely on the tray. And then we have another little craft, and then we'll be putting it all together. Go ahead and like this video and grab your craft supplies, your favorite beverage, and let's hop down to that craft table. All right, so here I am in Design Space. As you can see, I already have many of the elements already on screen, so this will save us a bit of time in this tutorial. What I've done so far is the first thing I did is I went to shapes and I grabbed a circle, brought it into my canvas. Then I went up here to the sizing and I changed it to 9.75, and this is the diameter, the inside diameter of that tray. And then I came up here and I changed it to pink for design purposes. If you are someone who might forget to hide this particular element when you go to the make screen, you can actually go to the operation menu up here, click on basic, cut, and scroll all the way down to guide, and you can actually turn it into a template, and then this would not populate on a mat when you go to the make screen. I, for one, want to see the pretty pink version, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it as the pink tray, and I'll just have to remember to come over here in my layers panel and turn it off when I'm ready to go to my make screen. Okay, the next thing I did is I went to text and pulled up a text box, and I typed in UR ... I made sure it was left aligned up here. And then because the spacing in between the UR was wide, too wide in fact, I came up to line space and I just used the down arrow until I got it the way I wanted it. So initially this space right in here was very wide and I did not like that visually. Also, before I did any of that, I did go into the font menu and I chose BFC Vintage Champagne. That is important that you change the font before you start editing your line spacing, your letter spacing, all of the things, okay? So that way you'll get a true picture of what it will look like with the font you're actually going to use. Now that I have this completely ready to go the way I want it, you can come over to Combine and you can hit Weld, and it will turn your letters into a basic cut. So they're no longer letters. They are like an image. I'm going to go ahead and leave that. I'm going to go put it in my circle. If you find that your words disappear when you bring them, so they basically go behind the circle, you can come up here to arrange, and then you would be able to click on bring to front. Now mine is grayed out because my words are already on the front of the circle. The next thing is I'm going to grab both of those, go up to align, and I'm going to align center. For right now, I'm going to group these. So these are both still selected and they're centered. I'm going to go ahead and group them. Now, when I move these, they are one cohesive unit, and I don't have to worry about getting the UR kind of out of place. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to come over here and work on some of these words. Now, the thing I want to show you about the words, before I show you the warp feature, we're going to zoom in. I'm going to bring this word over here, and I'm actually going to blow it up because I want you to see this. If you have Cricut Access, then I'm going to show you how to use the warp feature. And if you don't have Cricut Access, it may be something that you get in the future, so this will be helpful to you. If you don't have access to the warp, what you can do is curve your, now when you hit the curve, you can go to the right, you can go to the left, put it however you particularly like. this is still curved. So if I were to bring it over to my circle, you can see it goes behind. So I'm going to take care of that. Arrange, bring to front. And you can see that it's quite big. So I'm going to shrink it down, and then I'm going to put it right in here. That is how I would use the curve feature in Cricut Design Space. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with the curve feature. This is actually a good thing. The other thing you can do if you use the curve feature is you want to make sure that all of your letters and words are the way you want them. We are going to go ahead and we're going to take these letters and I want to ungroup them. And then I am going to select a couple at a time. These in the middle, I'm going to just use my arrow key on my keyboard. I'm going to arrow over a little bit. This is already overlapping here, but I'll use the I to go back just a little bit to be sure. I'll do the same thing with F. I'll do the same thing with the U and the L. And you don't want to use your mouse. You want to use your arrow because you've already changed your text. So it's already been curved. It's already been sized. Now you can do this before. This one here, it kind of looks a little, well, I can continue over. Let me click back on that. I can continue over until I'm here, and then I'm going to bring this B way over here. Now my word beautiful is indeed beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and select all of those. I want to come down here to combine. I want to weld it together. So I curved it and then I went in and I moved all of the letters so that they would touch except for the B. And then you can see all the little cut lines that were connecting the letters. Those are gone. So then I have to resize it down. I guess I went a little too far. Sorry about that. And then I could put it right back in here. Just get it sized the way I want. So if you don't have the warp feature, that is what you want to do. Let's go ahead and do one that is warp. Let's go with created. I'm going to just pull that out over here. I'm going to blow that up a little bit. So here's the word created. I do want to make a few adjustments. In fact, I'm going to make it a lot bigger so we can see what we're doing here. I'm going to move these out of the way so I don't accidentally grab them. We need to take care of these little cut lines right here where the letters overlap, but we'll do that in just a minute. So I'm going to select all of those and I'm going to ungroup. I am going to make sure that everything, in fact, let's do this. I'm going to grab all three of these. I'm just going to move over slightly and then these are together. These look good and I might just do the E and the D just for good measure, just grabbing those three. I'm going to move it over just a smidge. Here we go. We're going to grab all of these. Instead of grouping them, we want to come down here and we want to go to weld. Okay, so now I've done pretty much the same thing that I did before. Now, do you see this right here? I don't really like that. So if you notice an issue, don't save. Just go to your undo button. It'll undo the weld. And then can you see right here where the T is kind of poking out? So that means I moved the ED over a little too far. Here we go. So now select all. And then I'm going to go to weld and I'm going to double check all the cut lines. So this is one cohesive piece. Then we have these two. That'll be okay. All right. So this is my image, right? I can move it all around. Warp works the same way the curve does in a way, but you have a whole nother realm of options. And again, it is for Access members. We're going to click on check it out and then take a look at what we have. I can move this around, but I can't always move all of the options up here out of the way. So here's created. I want to have it curved down. So I've got this one here and I've got this one here. So let's take a look. Let me duplicate this and I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so that we can compare the two. Bring that menu back up, move it over here so I can see it. So the top one is selected. I'm going to go ahead and hit 1. It'll warp it according to its design, and then you can make it as warped as you want. So if you want a kind of a sharp curve, there you go. I'll just leave that. And that's what that one looks like. Then I'm going to click on this one. So this is the warp number 1, and this is going to be that other warp. So now I'm going to click on 5 for this warp. So they are similar in size, but I want you to see the difference. Here the C maintains a little bit more of itself, and here it looks a little more skewed, almost like it's italics. This one, I like it. It just kind of looks a little like the letters have changed shape themselves. Whereas here, the letters still seem to be true to what they were to begin with, but now it's just curved. So that is how you use the warp feature. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this one. And right here, I'm gonna move these up, grabbed all of those, moved them up. So when you grab a whole group of things, whether it's grouped or officially over here, or you've just selected them all, you can, as long as you can see your little arrow, you can move the whole thing together. Then what I did is I kept doing warp all the way through these words. And then I made sure they were the size that I wanted. I also tried to keep them fairly the same size. All right, well, obviously I don't want all of them in that same orientation. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to rotate it, and then I'm gonna bring it in here, and I'm gonna see if that's how I like the rotation. Maybe I want it a little bit smaller, and I want this a little bit smaller. And then I just kept going around the circle to do all of the words that I had typed out for. And then when I was done with all of them, I did make sure to hide the circle. I don't want to cut it out. And no matter what, all of my words are basically welded together, so I don't have to worry about them going wherever, all over the mat. When I go to the make screen, everything will look the way it's supposed to. And then when I did go to the make screen, because these are all the same color, they were put all on one mat, and I just rearranged them to make the most of the space so that I could use the least amount of vinyl possible, and then I cut that out. That is how I made those with a warp feature. And again, if you don't have access, you can use the curve feature. Now let's go ahead and head down to the craft table and start putting these together. For our first craft of the day, I have this cute little makeup brush holder. This is from the Target Bullseye section, and it has a cute little cookie bow on the front. It is like this iridescent, almost holographic type sheen to it, or glaze. It is actually really substantial. Like this is about 4 inches tall and about 4 inches wide, and it was $3 at the Target spot. So I thought it would be really fun to turn this over on its backside and put some vinyl on the back, just a cute little saying. And so that's what this is all for. And then next to that, I did find the makeup brushes. There's 5 to a pack. These were $3. They have the little confetti down in the resin handle, pink little synthetic brushes, and I thought this would be really sweet. So let's go ahead and get this particular craft put together. I think I will leave those packaged and let her open those herself. Okay, so this is going to be a tiny little heart, and this is going to go under our little sentiment. It's so cute. I love that little heart. Now this says, "Beautiful girl, you can change the world." I'm going to try something today that I have actually never tried before. There are a ton of little pieces in here, like dots to eyes, and then those little centers to all the E's and stuff. And I'm going to use some transfer tape, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try reverse weeding. Now I've never done this before. If it doesn't work, then I will have to restart the cut, but that's okay. I've got plenty of the vinyl. I'm going to place my design on the transfer tape. I don't even know where I got this one from. I'm not sure. I haven't used it very much. I think it's rather new to me, so I'm not 100% sure where I got it, but let's give it a go. I like that it's clear. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm going to burnish down the front, and hopefully I got all these little pieces where they're supposed to be. And then I'm going to turn this over and go ahead and burnish this backside really, really well. And the idea of reverse weeding is that I'm going to pull off the carrier sheet, and then ideally we are supposed to be able to pull off all of the negative space so that it will leave all of the letters. So let's give this a try. I don't know. I've never done this before, but it's good to try new things. Oh, check that out. So I'm just going to go slow and take my time since I've never done this prior to this filming. Then we'll see how it comes out. Okay, well, I've weeded out all of that negative space, and quite frankly, that was the easiest thing. I was a little nervous that I was gonna mess it up, but beautiful girl, you can change the world. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in here and I'm just gonna weed out these little middle pieces that didn't want to come up the first time, and we're gonna see how that goes. I'm just gonna take my time again, and then we will come back together when this is done. Okay, so this was not bad. It was different. I am glad that I tried it. Here it is. Beautiful girl, you can change the world. And I think that looks so good. The next thing that we're gonna do is bring this in, and I'm gonna grab my rubbing alcohol. I'm gonna reach down here, grab a paper towel. We'll get this cleaned off. I'm super excited because I finally got a mounting paper towel holder. You can mount it with screws, or it came with double adhesive tape. And I just mounted it underneath my desk. It was pretty awesome. So very convenient, and I don't have paper towels everywhere. Okay, so I'm gonna line this up, and I'm not worried about any kind of sip line because it's obviously not for a drink. And burnish this down here. Okay, so reverse weeding, something new, never tried before. And I actually, I think I would probably do that again. So I am glad that I did it. So here is a tiny, tiny, tiny sliver from somewhere. So I'm able to pull that off. Okay. So this is what it looks like so far. That looks so good. And then I'm just gonna grab my tweezers, and I'm gonna take this little heart here, and I'm just gonna put it on like a sticker. It technically goes down here. I don't know if we wanna put it somewhere else or there. I think I'm worried that down here it'll get lost. What I think I actually will do is I will put it up here, and then I actually will get another, I'll cut out another one and place it there, but I'll do that off camera. I'll place this over here. This laid down very nicely. Okay, I'm happy with that. So here we go. Beautiful girl, you can change the world. Tried the reverse weeding, and that was so fun. I actually like that. So I think what I will do off camera is get another one of these hearts and put it over there. That is our first one. Let's move on to our next one. I found this cute little tray, again, in the Target Bullseye section. This is a metal tray. It is food safe, hand wash only. You cannot put it in the microwave, the oven, or the dishwasher. So you just hand wash it and you are able to put food on it. However, and it was $5. I decided that I was gonna turn this into like a little tray for her vanity. And I've got some vinyl here, it's already cut out. But I chose, I'm gonna be putting the UR in the middle of the tray, and then these words around the perimeter. So I've kind of, got them ready to go, and they just match all of these little Bible verses that are here. I thought this would be great because, all of these little subliminal messages that our girls get in the world, well, and our boys too, but all of these little subliminal messages that our kids get daily from all sources. I think as parents, it's important for us to give them subliminal messages that we want to have them carry with them throughout life. And those teen years are so rough. The teen years are the hardest. All right, this is pretty substantial. I'm gonna go ahead and weed this part out. This just says, you are. I'm gonna try and use up some more of my scraps. So I have to laugh. I forget where I was somewhere. And, I was out shopping with my husband. We ran into one of her teachers. And so I was chatting with her teacher and, just about random stuff, not like a parent-teacher conference. It was kind of funny because all of a sudden she is sending me a text message, and she was wanting She is wanting a super ginormous vanity, like one that has like the Hollywood lights and the drawers and the cabinets and the mirrors. And so I just thought it was hilarious that she was sending me that while I was talking with her teacher. So I'm gonna see if I can get this as centered as I possibly can. Does that look pretty good? It's roughly in the middle, so this is good. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it and get that burnish down. And then I'm gonna be super careful. I don't wanna scratch the surface. Okay, so the next is, I'm just gonna go in order of these little words. So the first word is beautiful. Let me get these in order because I am gonna have to weed them. I'm going to get these weeded out and then we'll get them on transfer tape and then onto the tray. Okay, so I have everything that has been cut out. I have it weeded out and ready to go. So now I just have to put all of these in place on here with my transfer tape. And what I did is I just kind of started here and I went around just trying to decide like where should everything kind of go. And because I have it all in place, I really don't want it to move necessarily. I'm gonna grab some washi. I know beautiful is gonna go right here, like right at the very top. I'm just gonna tack this down for a second. And then I think I'm gonna go around and do the same thing with all of these, tacking them down, just so that when I start making my placements, everything is spaced out so that it all fits. Let's put this down, burnish a little bit. Okay, so question of the day, do your kids, like if you have young kids, do they still do Valentine's in school? I teach high school and my daughter, she is in middle school to a Christian academy, so they don't do Valentine's Day like a traditional school. So anyway, if you have younger littles, do you guys still do Valentine's at school? If so, what are some of the fun things that they do? Do they have like little parties? Do they just do decorations and little cards? I don't know, maybe I'm dating myself. Okay, so see, this is what my idea is. All right. Okay, so beautiful's on there. Victorious is next. And then we'll go with the next one. So I will just continue on around the tray, just like this. Then we can see how it all turns out. So I'm just gonna continue around the tray. Then when we're all done, we'll see how it all looks together. Okay, well this is completed tray. This looks so good. I love this. The spacing isn't quite perfect, but quite frankly, I did not, go through with a dry erase marker and get it all measured out, and it still looks really good. So this is a great thing to do for these kind of trays. I just love it. And I got to thinking, this is actually the card that came with these bracelets, and we got them at Christmas, and they're just wonderful. I love them. It's pretty, it goes with everything. It's neutral and it's pink, so I love it. And I just love the reminder that we're all beautiful, victorious enough, created strong, amazing, capable, chosen, never alone. Most importantly, we are always loved. And I love that it references the Bible verses that go with each of those. Normally I don't do this, but I will also link this down in this description, just in case you're interested in picking one of these up for yourself or someone else. They make great gifts, they're beautiful, and I just love it. Plus, it gave me some great inspiration for a gift. So it's kind of like the gift that keeps on giving. So this is the tray, and then I did go ahead and get that little heart cut out earlier. So this is ready to go. Of course, I have these here. So these will go inside there. Let me grab all of the items that I actually plan on putting in her little Valentine's Day basket, and that way we can showcase them all at the same time. Now I'm going to show you all of the things that I have for her little basket. Well, I say a basket. It's actually gonna be like a laundry basket, and it's really hard for me to zoom out. This was a round basket. It is made out of felt. It has rope sides, and it is $5. That was also at Target, and it's actually pretty deep. You can kind of see all of that. And I thought this would be a great addition to her room. It's neutral. It'll actually be good for either her throw pillows or, because she's starting to accumulate, this will be like her third one. Also, also dirty laundry. She's notorious for not putting them in the, they just go on the floor. They're teenagers. I thought, well, maybe if I gave her a basket, then she would put them in a basket, but probably not. Anyway, in the last video, we had made the little bow pillow. We just put the glitter bow here in the corner. I did go ahead and pick up another one of these. This is also a Target, and it was just really cute. It's plushy on one side, and it is smooth on the other with like a satin stitch that says, "Let me sleep." That is pretty much what she says just about every day. We had the little trinket tray here, the little mini bow that we put some adhesive vinyl on in the corner. We had the little trinket box here. So this is just cute. And of course, these items here that you just saw, I am just loving these. So this will be super fun. You know, school and athletics is her job. So this is kind of, I guess, like a little payday for her. I did grab some of her favorite candy. I found these at the Dollar Tree. They're just really fun nails. I found this little mini straightener, and this is from a Target as well, and it was one of the $5 items. So I'm going to be putting all of this together. We'll just have this for her on Valentine's Day. Certainly you don't have to go out and do a ginormous gift basket for Valentine's Day. Again, not something we normally do. The inspiration just struck me. Okay, well, that is all I have for you today. Thank you for sticking with me to the end of this video. I hope that you found it fun and inspiring. And if you did, go ahead and hit that like button, share it with your crafty friends, and don't forget to leave me a bow or a heart emoji down in the comments. And if you are not already subscribed, I'd love to have you on board with the crafting community here. So hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell. And until I see you in our next video, as always, have an amazing day and happy crafting.
Thank you all so much for watching today. I'm so glad that you can join me at my craft table. If you're not already, I'd love to have you as a subscriber, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you'll know when new videos arrive. Have a great day, and as always, happy crafting.